Good morning, children. Welcome to sociology class. We are studying classical thinkers and their theories. We have already studied Auguste Comte, Emile Durkheim, and today we are going to study Karl Marx and his theory of class and class struggle. Before we study the theories, let me explain you something about Karl Marx. Karl Marx lived from 1818 to 1883. He initially studied law and later he turned to the study of philosophy. In 1841, at the age of 23, he received the doctorate degree. After completing his studies, he began writing for a radical left-wing paper and became its editor in 1842. After the closure of the paper, Marx traveled to Paris. During his stay in Paris, he met Frederick Engels, and the friendship between the two was immediate and eternal. Both of them wrote a number of classic works together. The major works of Karl Marx include the Communist Manifesto, then Contributions to a Critic of Political Economy, next the Class Struggle in France, and the classic 3-volume work Das Kapital. Today, there is hardly a country where his followers do not exist. All over the world, labor and revolutionary movements are inspired by his views. That is why he is called the great teacher and leader of the international proletariat. Proletariat means working class. According to Stepanova, Marx is like the pole star, guiding the humanity on the path of communism. What is meant by communism? It is a political system in which the state owns and controls all factories, farms, and services and aims to treat everyone equally. State means the government. So he was very much in favor of communism. So now let us discuss the theory of class. We call it Marxian theory of social class. According to Marx, class is the manifestation of economic differentiation. Means class demonstrates the economic differentiation. R. Bendix and S. M. Lipset have stated, a social class in Marx terms is an aggregate of persons who perform the same function in the organization of production. The above definition which we have discussed make it clear that class according to Marx is basically economic in nature. Though it had great social importance, from the Marxian point of view, class is not determined by the occupation or income but by the position of an individual occupies and the function he performs in the process of production. So the class is concerned mainly with the position of a person. For example, if there are two blacksmiths, of whom one is the owner of a workshop and another a paid worker, Both are blacksmiths, but one is having his own workshop and one is working as a worker, paid worker. They belong to two different classes, though their occupation remains the same. Naturally, the one who is the owner of the workshop, his position is higher than the paid worker. So it is concerned with the position. Thus, Marx defined a class as all those people who share a common relationship to the means of economic production. Those who own and control the means of production, like slave owners, feudal landowners, or the owners of property, such as factories and capital, are the dominant class. Those who work for them, like slaves, peasants, or industrial laborers, are the subordinate class. Means they are working under the dominant class. The relationship between the two classes is not only one of dominance and subordination. So here are two things. One is dominating and one is subordinating, but also of exploitation. So not only dominance and subordination is there, but a kind of exploitation is also there. The workers produce more wealth in the form of food, manufactured products and services than is necessary to meet their basic needs. In other words, they produce surplus wealth, but they do not enjoy the use of the surplus they have created. Instead, those who own the means of production are able to take this surplus wealth as profit for their own use. This is Marx's view in the essence of exploitation and the main source of conflict between the classes that has occurred throughout history. He says that there are two classes. One are the dominant classes, who are the owners of the means of production, but they are not actually producing. The producers are the subordinates. They are producing by them, but in spite of producing surplus wealth, the workers are unable to enjoy it. On the other hand, the owners are enjoying the total volume of the surplus produce. So according to him, there are two main classes. First class, which are having all the sources, which are enjoying the wealth, means he has classified them into haves and have-nots. The laborers are the main producers, but they are having nothing. So according to him, every society is divided into some classes. Now the next thing is the theory of class struggle, which is related to class system. Marx's theory of class struggle is plain and simple. He says that each society has two opposite classes. Which two classes? The exploiters, means the capitalist, the owners of the capital, and the exploited, means the laborers. So according to him, there are two classes, exploiters and the exploited. When the exploitation becomes unbearable, the conflict between the two becomes clear. So it is a conflict between the capitalist and the laborers. According to Marx, it is a historical fact that against landed property, wealth is the first tangible means that can be clearly seen to exist. So this is called tangible form. After that, the capitalists exploit the workers and multiply their wealth. They amass or collect wealth from the labor of the workers. In other words, they multiply wealth with wealth. He says capital is that wealth which is used for the exploitation of the workers. And this exploitation is the beginning of class conflict. Marx describes the transition from the domestic system of production to the factory system, and proceeds to argue that under the factory system, the situation arises where the small capitalist and small scale employers lose everything to the large capitalist, and capital and land gets concentrated in the hands of few people. The middle class is merged with the labor class, and the masses are employed by a small capitalist class. With each recurring cycle, the producers reduce the prices on their products to dispose of their inordinately great supply. So what happens? Fall in prices leads to fall in wages. Their purchasing power decreases because of the less wages. The workers' purchasing power decreases and they cannot buy the products they have produced, thus further increasing the output. This is what he calls exploitation of men by men, means the exploitation of the workers by the capitalist. So he has divided two classes, the exploiters and the exploited. This arouses discontent in the working class and manifests itself in class struggle. So according to him, this is the main reason for class struggle, because of the exploitation of the workers or laborers by the capitalists.